And look at this. Barbecue chicken pizza on a drum smoker. Stick around, I'll show you how. And welcome back to Heat of the Drum. My name is Steve. Today we're doing something that you probably ain't seen a lot of people do, but we're going to do it on this drum smoker, and that is a barbecue chicken pizza. So what we're going to do is we bought a whole chicken. This is a 5 pound, about 5 1/4 pound chicken. I split it in half. We're going to season it. We're going to smoke it on the drum smoker. When it's done, we're going to pull it apart, use that meat to put on a barbecue chicken pizza. And we're not putting that pizza in the oven. We're putting that pizza right here on this drum smoker. So now what I have here is just my basic rub that I use for quite a few dishes. It's just a basic barbecue rub. It works good on chicken, uh, pork, beef, whatever. We'll be putting that together and putting on this chicken. Okay, and what I have here is a 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of ground pepper, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground mustard, and an 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And we're just going to mix that all in this bowl here. And here we go. And we'll just get that mixed up nicely. Get that sugar broke up. Until it's thoroughly blended like that. And right here is our chicken. Like I said, all I've done is cut it in half, get the backbone out, and make 2 pieces. Make it easier on us. Now what we're going to do here, get rid of this here, is I do want to get this rub under this skin and all over this breast. So we're going to go ahead and work on getting this skin separated right here. And I've showed you this before. You just kind of get your fingers in there and you kind of work it. And all we're trying to do is just free that up a little bit so that we can get some seasoning in there on that kind of bland, tasteless breast. So we're going to go ahead and do that on that one. And then we'll also come in here on this side here and do the same thing. We'll just kind of work your hand in there. Once you get your finger in there, you can kind of just go back and forth and loosen it up. Slippery. There we go. Just like that. There we go. Get that pulled off. There we go. That'll work. And let's just go right into this rub. We're just going to take some and get it on in there. Like that on that one. And we'll go over here and do the same thing on this one. A little messy, but it's worth it. And get a little more up here. And what we'll do is we'll pull that skin back over. It will shrink and it will expose that breast a little bit, but we'll go ahead and just tuck it around there like such. Now, what I like to do is just take a little bit of soft butter. It's a little cool out here today, so this kind of cooled up a little bit and got a little colder on me. Well, we're just going to rub that around this outside of the skin here the best we can. Just putting a light coat of butter on there. And I'm not going to use this whole chicken for this pizza. I'm just doing both halves while I got the smoker on. Now let's finish with the rub. Let's go ahead and just grab this. And as you can see, we've almost used all that rub. And you know what? We might as well use the rest of it. Let's just put her on there. It ain't gonna hurt it. Tap that in. This will go back in the fridge for 1 hour. And while this is sweating out in the fridge, we're gonna go ahead and work on getting this drum fired up. Okay, and what I got here in my basket is a mixture of some Kingsford briquettes, and right now I'm using Cowboy Lump, which is the oak and hickory blend. And we're going to play off of the hickory with some more hickory. So let's get those placed around. I usually like to throw them to the outside edges a little bit, kind of like that. And then I do the same with my chimney right there. It's just a mixture of the Kingsford and the Cowboy Lump. About 3/4 of the way filled. Let's get her fired up. Okay, we're going to let this thing go for about 15, 18 minutes it usually takes. Once we start seeing flame, we'll dump her in, start dialing this drum smoker in. And we have flame, let's get her dumped. And I always manipulate the coals a little bit. I don't want my wood burning up just yet, so. Today we are using a restrictor plate and a bowl of water. That's hot water. And we'll be cooking on the top shelf today. Now what I'm going to do is just let this go for about 10 minutes and then we're going to get the lid on. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get the lid on. And it's a good time to get my thermometer in here so we can start to monitor what's going on. Let's go ahead and get the lid on. I got it set for 310. This is going to alarm me when this hits 310. At 310, I'm going to set my damper down below. We're looking for about 290 to 300 degrees to cook this chicken today. So we'll wait for that and then we'll set our damper. And we're alarming. Let's go ahead and set that damper. And if you watch my videos before, you know that I just have the one central damper and all I do is measure. That way I can dial in where I need to be. Otherwise you're just kind of guessing. So I know I need to be about 9/16 of an inch, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay, so I'm going to let this go for about another 20-25 minutes, and we're going to work on getting this thing dialed in, and getting that temp close to where we need it for this chicken. I'll bring you back once I put that chicken on. Okay, it's been about another 20-25 minutes, and we've been letting this smoker run and do its thing. And our temperature right now is 286. And as you can see, our temperature is 286 on the smoker. Our target temp is 290 to 300, so we're really close. We're right there. Let's get it on. And here we go. Let's go ahead and get the lid off. Thing is piping hot. And let's go ahead and get these chicken on here. Look at those. Been sweating out in the fridge, ready to go. And we're going to go ahead and put this one just like that. Okay, now we're going to let these go for an hour. At 1 hour, I'm going to go ahead and rotate, and I'm going to put my thermometer in to kind of track the temperature on these. I'd like to take a minute and just thank everybody who's liked and subscribed and been watching the videos. I thank you a lot, man. It means a lot. I appreciate it. You can see this thing is smoking away. We finally got the smoke shack opened up today. I was finally able to get the tarps off. It warmed up finally around here. Winter's not over yet, but we're enjoying the day, and the tarps are gone, and we're outside where I like to be. So we're going to soak up the sun. We're going to get this chicken done. We're going to turn it into a barbecue chicken pizza, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But at 1 hour, rotate and put the thermometer in. See you then. Are you recording? Okay, it's been 1 hour. Let's go ahead and rotate this and get our thermometer in. Oh yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in right here, right into that breast right there. Go ahead and get our lid back on. Get plugged in here. 128 on the chicken. So we want to go to at least 160-ish, 165. Okay, everybody. As you can see, we're alarming right now. Our chicken is 165, and our smoker is 282. Let me turn that off. Our smoker is 282. And you know, I talked about our target temp being between 290 and 300, but that's okay. You're always going to have a little fluctuation either way, so don't get discouraged. Just keep on trucking with it. Now we're going to get out the Insta Read. Well, this is a somewhat instant read. This is the Alpha Grillers. It's about a 2 or 3 second reaction time. But I tell you what, for 16 bucks, I believe is what I paid for this. I like it. Let's check these out. So I'm just going to come in a few places here, and let's see what we got. 165 right there, that big breast. Let's come and check this thigh. Probably be a little bit more. Yep. Oh yeah. I know this breast. This is a smaller one here. I know he's going to be up there. 172, yeah. Check this thigh. Yeah. So we're just going to go ahead and get these flipped and get the lid back on. Ready? Okay, it's been 5-6 minutes. We're taking this chicken off regardless. And if you guys want to see a good way to crisp up a chicken skin, check out my spatchcock chicken video, because I did that, and I show you the proper way where I take the restrictor out, I take the water bowl out, and we get things crispy on that skin. So remember, spatchcock chicken video. This chicken we're taking off regardless how the skin looks, because we're after the meat mostly for that pizza. So let's go ahead and get that off. You already know it's done. Let's just go ahead and grab it. And the same thing with this one. Ooh, they do look nice though. That rub made them look pretty. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is remove this thermometer temporarily here. And we're going to get this upper grate out, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach in here and I'm going to grab this water bowl, and we're going to go ahead and get this water bowl out. We no longer need it. We're going to leave our restrictor plate in there. We're going to come back in with this top shelf, and this is where it gets crazy. You're probably wondering, what are you doing? This is a pizza stone, and we're going to put it on this drum smoker, and we're going to be cooking that pizza on there. But right now, what I want to do is I want to get this thing nice and piping hot. And now what we need to do is open up this damper. We want to get this smoker hot. And what we're going to do is then open this up to about 1.5 inches, and that's about where it's at right there. Okay, so we got our damper open. We're going to take this chicken in and we're going to rest it for about 30 minutes so that we can handle it and shred it into pizza-sized chunks. Bring you back in 30 minutes. Okay, and welcome back. It's been 1 hour since we took that chicken off. Now, we waited 30 minutes, then we shredded the chicken into bite-sized pizza chunks. We waited another 30 minutes for the drum temperature to get even higher. Right now, we're about 379, and we're going to go ahead and assemble this pizza and get it on there. Now, what I have here is a homemade pizza dough. Now, you can use whatever dough you want. If you want to buy a store-bought dough, roll something out of a can, whatever you got to do. But we made a fresh pizza crust here, so rolled it out, size of this pan right here. And then what I did is I took a fork and just poked some holes in there, and that'll help with bubbles and help the crust cook better. So let's go ahead and assemble this. So let's just go over the ingredients. It's rather simple. What I have here for sauce, we're going old school. We're going KC Masterpiece Original. This is a dark, rich sauce, and it works very well with barbecue pizza. So I'm going to go ahead and open that, and we'll start spreading out some sauce. And I'm just going to use the back of a spoon here to kind of smear it around. I like my sauce to go all the way out to the crust. So we definitely want to make sure we get it out there. Just like that. And we'll just even it out a little bit. Just like that. Now what I have here is some purple onion, 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese, and I shred my own cheese. I don't buy the shredded stuff. It's worth shredding your own. 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese, 4 ounces of Colby Jack that we're also going to put on there. Don't forget our chicken. Here's our smoked chicken that we worked so hard on earlier. Let's go ahead and get that on first. And like I said, this is half of that chicken. I smoked that full chicken, but we're only going to use about half of it. And this is breast meat, thigh meat, leg meat. I ate the wing. I had to sample it. Pretty good, I might add. There we go. We just got a little bit left. That's enough to make a sandwich. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of this red onion. I like to put that on there. Let's go in with our mozzarella. Now what I'm going to do, smooth that out just a little bit more, like such. Coming in here, some Italian seasoning. And we're going to shake a little bit of that on there. See if we can get the wind to stop blowing while we're doing this. And we're not getting too crazy, just enough to season it, just like that. Over the top of that, here's our Colby. I like a cheesy pizza, you know? And we're going through all this work and all this time and effort. We're going to make it good. Onto the smoker it goes. And you might be thinking, how's he going to get that off there? With this big old spatula right here. We're going to get that on there. Just like that, my friends. Let's get the lid back on. Okay, pizza's on, so gonna let this go about 10-15 minutes. Then we're gonna take a look at it and just to see how it's going. In the meantime, we're gonna make a garlic butter to put along the outside of that crust to make things a little bit more tastier. And we'll add a little bit of Parmesan cheese around there once the garlic butter's on there. Let's make that now. And this is real simple, guys. What we got here is a half a stick. I'm gonna go ahead and get this on. And what we got is about a half a stick of unsalted butter. So we're gonna go ahead and get that in there and let that start heating up. All right, so our butter is getting nice and bubbly. Woo! To that, I added 1 teaspoon of this minced garlic. Turn this down just a little bit here. And an 1/8 teaspoon of garlic powder. Woo-wee! Now we're going to stir that around in there and get that all nice and incorporated. Okay, it's been 20 minutes, guys. Let's go ahead and look at it. Oh yeah, it's coming along a little bit longer. I'm going to come in here with this garlic butter that we made. I'm just going to go along the edge right here. Oh yeah. Just like that. A little more right here. And back on with the lid. All right, so remember at 20 minutes, we went ahead and peeked on the pizza and we put the first round of garlic butter around the crust. Pizza's done, we're taking it off. It's been 10 minutes later, so a total cook time on the pizza, 30 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and take it off. We're gonna hit the outer crust one more time with that garlic butter, and then we're gonna wrap this video up. Let's take a look at it. And I'm just gonna reach in here and grab this stone and pull this pizza out right there. And we're going to go ahead and take our garlic butter and once again go around the edge and let that soak in. And that's going to add a ton of flavor. And the finishing touch is a little Parmesan around the outside edge. Nothing crazy. Just like that. Okay, there's only one more thing to do. It's just sample this pizza. We worked so hard on it. It looks phenomenal, and I guarantee it's going to taste good. Now let's just do a quick recap on what we did. So we got our smoker fired up. We were looking for 290 to 300. It seemed to hang in around right around 286, right around in that range, which was fine. I'll take that any day. We cooked the chicken for about 2 hours. But before we put the chicken on, we made a homemade rub, just a basic barbecue rub, nothing spectacular, just something to give it some good flavor where it would taste good on this pizza. We cooked the chicken for 2 hours. After that, we took it off. We put our pizza stone on. We cranked this baffle on here, or the damper, I should say, and let the smoker get up as close to 400 that we could get it to. And after 30 minutes of resting, we shredded half of that chicken. So that was a whole chicken that we cut in half, and we used half of it for this pizza, or almost half, actually. We didn't quite use it all, but that's all right. We let it set another 30 minutes while this smoker built up temp and got it up to what we wanted. We threw the pizza on. After about 20 minutes, we checked it. Needed about 10 more minutes. But at the 20-minute mark, we went ahead and put our garlic butter on, our first basting of the garlic butter on that outer crust. We let it go another 10 minutes, basted it again, took it off, added our Parmesan, and now there's nothing left to do but sample this thing. And I'll tell you what, the wind keeps blowing by and giving me whiffs of this thing, and it sounds, and it smells, I should say, really good. Oh yeah. I'm just going to cut a piece right here out front. Woo-wee. It is hot. You can see the crust. There's the bottom of the crust. It's not burnt. It's cooked perfectly. Oh, man. Mm. Oh, wow. That was hot. That chicken is moist. That's the one thing I wanted to point out about that chicken. It was really moist when I was shredding it apart. And you can tell on this pizza. Oh, man. I'll tell you what. You guys try this recipe, and you won't be disappointed. Don't be afraid to experiment if you have a drum smoker or any smoker. Experiment. Try different things. That's what I do. Till the next time, eat the drum. Ugh.